Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm so glad you're here. So in today's video, I'm going to try to update my coffee bar by making a couple of peg racks. I was telling you guys in my last video that I've been influenced by a couple of YouTubers that I watch, and I love their peg racks. You can do so much with them. Instead of just buying peg racks, I decided to just make some. I had so much scrap wood laying around, and sometimes I just get the satisfaction of making it myself. But with having a mini kitchen, sometimes things that you decorate with have to be mini too. And I didn't really look at the different peg racks that were out there as far as size, but I just figured since I had the wood already, I would go ahead and try to make my own. So I started out making 2 for underneath my peg bar, and I have intentions of putting them somewhere else as well. So I made a total of 4, but I didn't use what I thought I was going to need underneath my coffee bar, and you'll see if you stick around to the end. But I wish that I would have made it just a little bit longer for 4 peg racks as opposed to just the 3. I think that would have been the perfect amount, but you can let me know what you think. It still looks cute. I just used the 1, but I like the way that it's styled, and I think I can maybe make another one down the road that has 4 that might look a little bit better. And I just like to say, that's a special crayon I'm using. Just kidding. It seems like over the years, I've pretty much bought everything I would ever need to build whatever I want to build, at least for a grandma. But wouldn't you know, when it comes time to actually do it, I can't find anything. So I think one of my next projects probably should be to organize all my tools and locate everything that I have and put it all in one spot. Maybe that will help for my next project. So my drill bit was actually a little bit large, but the peg racks were big enough on the screw end that it covered the hole anyway. So I guess no harm, no foul. So here's the first one all completed. What I meant to say was 4 pegs, not peg racks. I just needed it probably a little bit longer to have 4 pegs instead of 3. So being in a basement, I can't actually use regular stain. So this is a water-based wood stain that I got from Amazon. There's no fumes, it's not flammable. I'm right down here with the furnace and the hot water heater that has an open flame, so I can't have anything that creates too much of a fume. So I found this on Amazon. It's not quite as dark as I thought it was gonna be. I actually had purchased it for my dining room table, for those that have seen me or heard me talk about that. But I think if I do a couple coats of it, I think it might be okay. I might order another one to see if I can get it a little bit darker before I do my dining room table. So I got a little bit smarter with the other two, and I stained everything before I actually put them together. It was kind of hard to make sure everything was covered evenly, trying to do it with the pegs already on there. So I'm just staining these other two real quick, and then I'll stain the pegs and then drill them into the wood. So in an effort to not bore you to death, I'm going to speed up the film just a little bit to get through these other two peg racks, and then I'm going to start working on the piece of wood that's going to cover the front of my shelf, and it really makes it look more finished. And these pegs I got off of Amazon. There was 20 in a box, and I think they were only like $12 or $14. So they're not real expensive if you want to make some of your own. I can put a link in the description box. I don't get any credit for anything. I just thought you may want to try to make some. So this is the last piece that I have to stain. It actually had already been stained once, but I drew a line on it because it's just a little bit too wide, but I'm not going to try to cut it down because I think I'll end up ruining it. So for however much too big it is, it's not really even going to matter. So I'm going to get this stained again, and then we'll get into getting it put up and then styling. So hang tight. So the accordion rack that you see there, I had all this stuff out with intentions of getting more done this day than what I actually did, but I do have another video that I'm getting ready to make with that accordion rack. And I've talked to you before about my little creamer obsession. So I have another shopping haul, thrift store shopping haul that'll be coming up where I got some more creamers, and I'm thinking that this little accordion rack is going to go next to my refrigerator, possibly with some cute little creamers on it. So stay tuned for that because that will be an upcoming video sometime in the near future. Because I had already decorated for the patriotic season and the 4th of July coming up, I had to move everything out of the way, and as you see, everything's falling on me. Thankfully, there's no sound on that part, but so I wanted to get the peg rack up first before I put that piece of wood across the top of the shelf, because I figured it might just make it a little bit more difficult to get under there and be able to see what I'm doing. So this was my first thought, to use both of them, but again, I'm dropping things. But I was thinking that once I put that board on there like this, that it may not be down low enough to be able to see my coffee cups or whatever decor I might want to hang on them. And then because that outlet is right there, it kind of knocked me out of being able to have two of them up there. So that's the reason why I opted for just the one, and am now wishing that I would have made it a little bit longer to have 4, so I might do that in the future. We'll see. And again, because nothing heavy is going to hang on these pegs, I didn't bother to do anchors or look for the studs because, as you see, it was hard enough just getting it through the wooden paneling. So I think I'll be safe. In here, I couldn't figure out why my nail gun wasn't working, and I finally realized I had to switch the battery. I didn't even have a battery on it.
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the colors. Summer love, lonesome dove.
So now I'm going to put everything back and try to remember how I had it prior to, and maybe restyle it a little bit differently. Not a lot differently. I just bought a couple more pieces of patriotic decor, so I'll just be hanging up my coffee cups up there just to see how that looks, and just restyling what I had.
Honeysuckle, fresh cut grass. I could really use some stuff like that. Talk to me and tell me all that you've seen, all the colors. Summer love, memories washed in every shade of green in all the colors. Summer love.
Another thing I discovered in building this peg rack is I probably should have had the pegs a little bit further apart, but being it's the first one I've ever made, I will remember that for the next one. But yeah, I think if they would have been just a little bit further apart and maybe had one more peg, it would have been perfect. So I'll remember that if I make a different one to go here. Hopefully the ones I made for my other spot will work. I may have to get some new pieces of wood and put the pegs a little bit further apart for that one.
That's sure something I could use. A cure for the air conditioned blues. Could use some too. A little bit of summer
And I don't want to rush summer by any means, but I am really excited to decorate this for Christmas. I know that's a bad word right now because we're just coming up on summer, but I think this is going to be so much fun to decorate for all the different seasons. I'm going to love it.
It's always been you, Jesus. It's always been you, Emmanuel. Who brings life to the morning? What flame lights my way home? It's always been you, Jesus. It's always been you, Emmanuel. I know I am loved so. Now I remember to sing praise. It's always been you, Jesus. It's always been you, Emmanuel. It's always been you, Jesus. It's always been you, Emmanuel. Who saves
And I really thought that my camera was getting all this footage. I didn't realize I was zoomed in so closely, so you totally missed my little basket, but you'll catch that in the end when I show you the final result. So sorry about that. Still learning here. Total newbie.
It's so unnecessary dwelling about the past. 'Cause I know that God is good, He led me to where I'm at. Sometimes I feel like giving up, you're giving in.
So this is just a quick shot of the before, and I had to slow it down a lot so I look like I'm a robot, but I wanted you to be able to see the before.
Sometimes you might need a helping hand, just like iron sharpens iron, making me stronger, calling me higher. When we come together.
And here it is, all done. I love how it turned out. I think that piece of wood on the front of my shelf just makes it look more finished, and it makes the shelf look a little more substantial. And so there's the basket that you finally get to see that I didn't get on camera. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I definitely have more to come. I have 3 more peg racks to install somewhere or totally remake. I have my accordion rack and my little creamers coming up. I also have a couple shopping hauls, thrift hauls actually, coming up, as well as a bedroom refresh and I guess you could say a bathroom refresh, for as much as what I can do to it for now. With all that coming up, I would love it if you would stay around for a while. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that, and it would help me out greatly. I appreciate any time that you spend with me, whether it's the first 5 minutes or for the whole video. It all helps me with my channel, and I appreciate it more than you know.
When we come together, just like iron sharpens iron, making us stronger, calling us higher.
May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And good Lord willing, I will see you in the next video.